All right. You got some news?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you want to do news right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so getting to that Cheryl Hines story. Cheryl Hines clashes with The View over husband RFK Jr.'s record for serving Americans. The health secretary's wife pushes back on claims that he is the least qualified HHS head in history. As Sonny Hostin went on about the problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services that we have ever had in history. He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it is very dangerous. I say that with the utmost respect. We got a clip.
People spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion.
Oh, clap it up. Clap it up.
It's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision.
All right.
May I finish?
I'll pause it there for a second. First off, they hate COVID talk.
Yeah.
They fucking hate COVID talk because it's 5 minutes old and they're all fucking liars.
Yeah.
Or stupid or liar. She brings up COVID and you go into circumcision. Also, they go, all the misinformation, like it's that thing. It's like, listen, what happened to Charlie Kirk was wrong. I disagree with everything that came out of his mouth, but it was still wrong. It's like, what do you disagree with? You disagree with everything that came out of his mouth. Everything, yeah. Everything. So when he said, take care of your family and raise your kids, or with a disagreement with that, you didn't disagree with, they do it all the time. I just disagree. How much look, we just had a pandemic. Ladies of The View, so it's easy to keep score. Let's just take the shit he said about COVID versus the stuff you guys said about COVID, and we'll get a batting average. Okay, so no one is batting 1,000, but let's see who has a higher batting average. And I will put my net worth on him. So what are you talking about? All the misinformation. Yeah. I love it. They go, all the stuff. Yeah. No one's going to be perfect in their batting average. His is much higher than yours. Okay, but let her finish. Sorry.
May I finish?
Please.
When Fauci were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus
and
that never encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that it
and Dr. Fauci has a medical degree.
They were censoring
all right, pause it there. Dr. Fauci has a medical degree. That's right. That's why he was able to do gain of function in a Wuhan lab. Chris Carolla does not have a medical degree, so she wouldn't be able to do gain of function research in a Wuhan lab behind people's backs. And she wouldn't need to be pardoned for that reason either. So, first, I love the medical degree. Yes, everyone who was either wrong about COVID or lied about COVID had a medical degree that you guys threw in our face. There's also many people with medical degrees that were correct that you shunned and said need to be deplatformed. Yeah. So I'm not sure how this medical degree part works, ladies of The View, but as soon as you bring up COVID, they go, we didn't know. You never said you didn't know. You said you knew.
Yeah.
So it's stupid or liar. And in his case, Fauci was lying. But I love the backtrack of we're fucking retarded and we don't know anything. And by the way, then why should we listen to you when you make decrees? Okay, because your argument is, why are you listening to me? So it'd be like you and I are driving to the club, and I go, Rudy, I got this. I've been in this club a million times. Go right up here on Hoover Street, and then take that straight away to Adams Avenue, and then we'll go down to Martin Luther King, and then at some point we're out of town.
Yeah, well, Adam, I know you have your way, but listen, I saw a shortcut through that ditch.
Yeah, okay. We're in the middle of the barrio. We're not near the club. And then you go, what the fuck? And I go, well, why are you listening to me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have a degree. I don't have a driver's license.
I'm not Magellan.
Yeah.
Yes, because I spoke with authority for a long time, and I told you where to go the whole time. And at the end, when you say you didn't know where you were going, my excuse is, why are you listening to me? Because I don't know anything.
I was still learning the way. I mean, during that time, we were still learning the way.
Right, but you're trying to get people deplatformed, fired from their jobs, thrown out of the fire department, lose their pension, locked out of their jobs. Yeah. But you didn't know anything. Okay, so you shut the beaches and you shut outdoor dining, but you didn't know. And okay, what else don't you know for the next crisis that comes up? Okay, and then are you basically saying then we shouldn't listen to you because you don't know shit and you talk with authority? And by the way, you didn't end anything with a question mark. It was exclamation point. Everything was I know. Remember, Fauci was science. You didn't believe in him. You missed out on the science part. So the I know crowd now backpedals. And again, their excuses were imbeciles and we're incompetent and we didn't know anything. That's the best we got.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bitches. We're not listening to you then.
Yeah.
There's more. I think you can go back like 10 seconds. I do love when you bring up COVID and misinformation. Foreskins.
Encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that it
And Dr.
can't.
Fauci has a
at
medical
the time, they were
degree.
censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any. But people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
Spread a lot.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the other stuff that they talked about in this that I love Cheryl for, because it feels like Cheryl's her winds are starting to change a little bit as time is going on, and maybe she's sort of seeing that her political party is full of shit.
I think so. Also, she needed to navigate Hollywood for a long time.
Sure.
Now, okay. So here's Larry David's a fucking nut job. He's a political lefty, insane person. Like he may be, let's see, he would be left of Mark Ruffalo. Or maybe tied in the political nut job insanity, global climate change, just fuckstick retard, super hard left. So
he's great in task.
Your boss is a super hard left dude, super hard. And you don't know when you're coming back for the last season. So what are you going to do? Put on a MAGA hat and stroll down the boardwalk at Venice Beach? I don't think so. Hollywood people are pussies and they know where the fucking bread's coming from, and they just shut up and suck a dick because they're cowards. So she wasn't going to upset the apple cart over there at HBO, especially with Larry David.
Yeah.
So she had to just shut up. Now she's in charge.
Yeah.
Her man's in the catbird seat. It used to be shut up and don't piss off Larry David because he's a fucking lunatic and a leftist. Now it's the season's wrapped. That's it. No more Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh, and my guy is Trump's guy and Trump's president. So now she's like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Why doesn't it work the other way, though? Like, how come guys like us can look at Larry David and go, absolute comedic genius, we can sit and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Somebody who's on the left can't watch something that you put out, or like a Tyler Fisher, or something that the Daily Wire puts out. They did that movie a few years ago. What was it called? Something with the balls, something. I'm
yeah.
But why is it that
the all-male team, transgender, said they were going to go play basketball against the girls.
So why is it that we have no problem going the other way and watching people who
why are we so much better than everyone else? Tell you why.
Basically what I'm saying.
I want you to cut me off at minute 22. They do this thing all the time, and I believe that they hurt their argument. Because when people dig into me, they go, he said this, he said that, he did this, did that, and they'll go, the unfunny Adam Carolla, blah, blah, blah. Now, there is no way of units to measure funny, but I'm funnier than all these people. You can't say that I'm not funny because that's what I've been doing for 30 years and I haven't missed a day. So so you can't, like, you can go, you can say, I can go, fuck LeBron James, he's a race hustler. And that guy sucks at basketball. Because now I seem like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he clearly doesn't suck at basketball, and I clearly don't suck at comedy. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it for as long as I have done it. Mm-hmm. And by the way, pre-politics, I was considered funny by the same people. So
Sure.
did you you decided I wasn't funny at some point? Mm-hmm. So they have to work an emotional component into everything, which is the unfunny, not going to watch that, versus a separation. Because I would say about Jon Stewart, let's say, I would go, well, I disagree with a lot of his political stances, but he's a good dude. He pays taxes. He loves his country, and he's good to his kids. All right. Now, the other side is I disagree with the political stances, and he's Hitler. Mm-hmm. Right. And the one that's always weird is they'll go, his policy, Ron DeSantis' policy of cruelty. That's what he is. He's an evil dog catcher from a Disney movie from the 60s,
Puts
right?
cats in bags.
Right. He's cruel. He hates kids and he's cruel. Yeah, that's Ron DeSantis. He's cruel, you fucking idiots. Just say you disagree. And also, you hurt your argument when you start piling on. Mm-hmm. It's that sort of when you're a kid, you go, at some point the guy beats you verbally and you'd go, oh, fine, but I'm not, you're fat.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've been defeated. Because you're arguing over something and now you just had to yell out that the guy was fat. So they can't do it because the argument isn't enough. They lose the argument. They're not going to win the argument, so they have to add on the extra spiritual, moral things of being cruel or evil or racist or bigot, homophobic, xenophobic. They have to tack on all the window dressing because the argument just based on the merits of the argument or the policy that's not going to work because the numbers don't pencil out in that department. So then they have to go to this sort of cruelty department, so you go, I don't think we should raise the minimum wage because you raise it to $20 an hour, as they did here in California, and there's a lot of people out of work and a lot of businesses going under and a lot of kiosks now and automation and robotation and all the stuff that we're going to get rid of. We're going to put these people out of work. And then you can't argue the numbers. You're not going to be able to argue the numbers. It's going to raise the price of the food. Businesses are going to go out. They're going to start cutting back on staff, and everyone's going to be part-time. No one full-time. All right. So you can't make that argument. So you say, I believe mothers should get a living wage, and you're cruel for wanting to deny them and their children food because you can't make an argument that works with the numbers. Yeah. So you start working the emotional side of it, and you'll see it when you argue with your kids. What's a kid say? What's a kid say who doesn't make the team? Who's 9, who comes home from school? Coach hates me. Coach hates me. That's an emotional argument. Not you fucking suck at baseball. It's coach hates me. Not if I worked harder and learned to hit a curve or whatever it is. It's coach hates me, right? That's an emotional argument. You just got an F in your history class. What? The teacher has it out for me. These are emotional arguments because you can't compete. Yeah. You're not writing the book reports. You're not doing the homework. You're not doing the work. So everything boils down to this person's cruel. This person doesn't want families to eat this one. You're making an emotional argument because your numbers aren't working in the stats department of the argument.
Yeah, the best Charlie Kirk videos are the ones where he talks people back into a corner and then they go, you got a big head. Right. And then they turn around and run away. I've showed so many people those videos and go, because they would disagree with everything he would say for no reason. It was just like, I hate this guy. And I go, well, do you love your family? Do you want peace? Do you want a nice community? Yeah, well, that's what this guy wants. You disagree on 20% of what he says.
I know. All right, we have a video of Larry David finding out on that show. This is my favorite show. We just bring progressive rich white dudes and tell them their family's own slaves.
This isn't AI, is it?
It's just such an odd combination on my father's side of the Germany and the South. Yeah. Two places that we have fought against as a country.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. I hope no slaves show up on this.
Please turn the page. Now, Larry, this is another part of the 18th.
Oh, you did it! You did it! I knew it! I knew it! Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Boy.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, boy. Name of the slave owner, Henry Bernstein. My great-grandfather was a slave owner.
Dun, dun, dun,
Slaves,
dun,
one
dun,
female,
dun.
age
Earnestly
4
bigots,
mulatto.
just asking.
One female, age 17 mulatto. Oh, Professor, I'm so sorry. You can see why my father didn't want to tell me anything about his family.
All right. So there you go, Mr. Pius.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just do this? And I mean it. With what's Larry David's net worth? Okay. Can we do something like this? And they talk about reparations all the time. We argue about reparations. And then some people go, my family wasn't even in this country, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so my kid's mom's family is all born in Italy. My dad's parents are born in Italy, and nobody's known anything here but poverty. There's no slave owners with the Carollas.
Yeah.
We're too new to this country. Like, my kids have no slave owner reparation, anything. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, you had slaves, except for your mom bought them used at a garage sale.
Yes, we'd go slave dumpster diving on Friday nights. She covered one with a sheet, which is in poor taste. That's what she do with her sofa. All right, Larry David's net worth is $400 million. He's 77 years old, so he's not going to be able to spend that money with the time he's got left on this planet. So he and his party, and he's very progressive, are for reparations.
Sure.
And he has a history of slave ownership in his family. And so does Ben Affleck, whose net worth is $600 million. And so does, who else did we talk about? We talked about Andrew. Ben Affleck has this. Who was the other guy who was revealed? Oh, Sonny Hostin. All right. From The View.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are all bleeding heart liberals, and you're for reparations, and your family has slave ownership, and you're all multimillionaires. I don't have your money, and my family has no history with this, and I'm against reparations. So
Sure.
I'm 0 for 3. You guys are 3 for 3. Why not cough up some cash? Why not just get that side of the aisle who is for reparations? And here's all it'll be easy. If you're for reparations and there's a history of slave ownership and your net worth is more than $30 million, then you cut a check. That'll be a substantial amount of money. I mean, look, Larry David's net worth could go from 400 million to 375. It's not going to put a dent in his bank account.
Sure.
And there's Sonny Hostin can cut a check. Ben Affleck can cut a check. They can all cut a check, and then they could get what they want, which is reparations.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you want reparations? Yes. Okay. Good news.
Yeah.
Great news. Great news. Your family owns slaves and you're rich. So you cut a check. What about Carolla? Carolla's family didn't own slaves. He doesn't have your net worth, and he's not for reparations. So cut a check, Mr. Reparation guy, who never will cut a check, by the way. But it's pretty easy. Why isn't Jasmine Crockett pitch this? Like, why isn't somebody let's just look, let's see if you own slaves, see what your net worth is, and let's do it.
Yeah, aren't we paying for our white privilege, though? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Every time I travel.
I know. And, man, I got pulled over on my way to a gig the other night, and the police officer let me go with a warning. And when I called somebody, I was on the phone telling them about it, and they go, well, there's that white privilege kicking in. I was like, no, that's the respectful hands up on the steering wheel where they can see them. Sir, do you mind if I reach into my glove box and grab my registration? Sir, I'm going to reach around and grab my wallet. All the whole time being incredibly respectful. And at the end of it, and it was a Latino cop. Guy walks up and goes, hey, man, just keep it slow in these small towns. I said, no problem, officer. Have a great night. And that's how you get out. It's not because he walked in and was like, oh, Whitey, keep moving, bud.
Well, by the way, there aren't I mean, the majority of cops in L.A. are, black or brown or women or something.
Yeah.
It's not that good old. It's not like Murph, the redhead from Union 76, comes out. You don't know who Murph is. Murph. If you find me a commercial from Murph of Union 76, that's the whitest dude
He had a
ever.
hound dog too, right?
Oh.
Murph?
Didn't he?
I don't know if Murph had a hound dog. He was the friendly guy.
Yeah.
By the way, they would run these commercials in L.A., and that's what I thought going to the gas station was going to be like. When I got older and got a license, got a car, I didn't know it'd be the steely-eyed Middle Eastern guy going, no, it can't, no. Pump 3, no pump for you, no pump, no. I didn't know it was that behind the bulletproof glass.
Sure.
I thought Murph was going to come
out.
He's going to come out and go, can I check your oil?
Always have a rag wiping oil off his hand. Yeah.
Murph was the whitest dude who was the most helpful guy. The noise would go off, bing, bing, the bell when you'd go over the air hose. That would alert Murph. Murph would come out, check that tire pressure, check that oil
Check that
level.
oil. Yeah. Pop that hood. Your PSI's a little low on that front left, Mr. Higgins. Don't worry about it, though. Old Gus has got you.
Gus has got you. Murph Union 76 commercial. That's this one. That's the whitest guy ever. Murph's 76 station.
Is that a Volkswagen Bug?
Yep.
My engine's missing and my wife won't talk to me. For newlywed, you're off to a pretty rough start.
He said he had the car tuned up.
Well, I did. You did?
Then why are we here instead of at honeymoon lodge?
Somebody probably pulled the spark plug wire. It's an old wedding drink. Turn it off. Okay, start her up. Murph, you saved my marriage. Well, getting people off to a smooth start is what the spirit of 76 is all about.
Go with the spirit.
That's funny, dude. I had an old Volkswagen
Bug.
and there was a 76 at the corner of my house or down the street, and I would take it there to this old white guy who would fix it, and every single time he'd fix it, he'd look at me and hand me a bill and say something like, $30, never get rid of this car.
Yeah, you can fix it. Well, you can almost fix yourself. By the way, is sabotaging someone's engine an old wedding drink?
Yeah,
I feel
right,
like that's a cruel joke. They're by the side of the road. It's at night. They're both buzzed. You know what I mean? They get hit by semi-truck.
Yeah.
Guys hopped up on trucker speed and they get cleaned out. Like it's kind of, tying cans to the back of the car, so be it.
Great, yeah.
But fucking with the distributor cap and pulling a spark plug wire and making it miss, that's a little cruel.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, I banged your wife in the broom closet on your wedding night. Those old wedding gags.
It's an old wedding gag. Yeah. So Murph just went down there and fixed it. But Murph is that's who I thought I was going to be dealing with in Los Angeles, not scary foreign guy. What is? No! Just screaming at me through the bulletproof glass.
They pulled spark plug wire. Old wedding trick.
All right, you got one more?
Yeah, let's do Letitia James, New York's top law enforcer, is housing a cop-hating fugitive relative with a lengthy felony rap sheet who was twice arrested for assaulting police officers at one of her Virginia homes, according to court documents.
Her great her great granddaughter niece. So what is she?
Grandniece.
Her grandniece.
Yes.
Has a crazy rap, felon record.
Oh, it's insane.
A rap sheet.
Yeah.
But it includes getting pulled over 4 times in the same day.
Oh,
it's literally, it's like, I just saw this. I was like, it's so easy to avoid cops. It's so easy it's easy not to interact with cops. It's easy. You just don't do shit that attracts them. Wait, do we have the clip or was it good? I heard it all. Well, you can lay it out. I don't know.
There was I didn't see a clip, but talking about her grandniece, Nikia Thompson, 36, wanted for failing to complete the terms of her parole following a 2011 arrest in Winston-Salem. In that case, she was charged with malicious conduct by a prisoner, a felony, along with assault of a government official and resisting a public officer. But then, keep going, this was 2020. since she's been living in Virginia in the house that Letitia James owns. She's been charged of possession of burglary tools, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and grand larceny, including the summer before. In July, Thompson was hit with 4 citations in a single day, including driving 80 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone and stopping her vehicle improperly on a highway. It was just the year before that she was ticketed once again for doing 80 in a 55 and got a summons for improper child restraint.
Yeah. So Earnestly Bigot wants to know if she got her together with the guy's been tased a million times. I think you'd find at some point their kids are going to be impervious to pepper spray and tasing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I will put this in perspective, and then we'll talk to Senator John Kennedy. The thing about the lawfare and the turnabout, is it fair play? And then he's using the legal system to go after, and so on and so forth. I will just paint a picture for everyone, because Letitia James ran on doing that to him.
Sure.
That she ran on saying, I'll find something and take Trump down. Okay, which is an insane thing to say into a microphone. Okay, so turnabout is fair play, and this isn't anything, and this is nothing burger. Yeah, technically she did it, but so does half of America, and whatever. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. This is basically, you're the Oakland Raiders, and you just got screwed by the tuck rule. And it's bullshit, and you don't know what it is, and you don't even know why, but you just lost the game because of Tom Brady and some rule that we didn't even know about, but they're going to the Super Bowl and you're going home because of the tuck rule. And now it's a new game and you got the ball and the Patriots are rushing your quarterback. Go ahead and call the tuck rule. Well, we're going to take that tuck rule.
Sure.
You can win the game now. And it's like, whoa, that tuck rule's bullshit. It is. But it worked for you guys, and you won the game. So now we're just going to implement the same rule. And you can go, it's a BS rule. Okay. But it worked for you guys.
Yeah.
So now we're just claiming it again.
Well, in the same breath, talking about Gavin Newsom as he was trolling Trump once again this weekend, they put out a graphic on, what was this? It was Press Office posted a photo on X of President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu clutching hands and comparing them to Dumb and Dumber. So you're right. They always say, hey man, we want more decorum in our politics. And now they're figuring out that doesn't work for you. So you have to troll. You have to go be that guy who's a little offensive, and you have to, start a couple of fires. And now Gavin Newsom finally figured it out. So he's got people in his press office posting stuff like this.
I get it, but does Dumb and Dumber work when you end a war and get hostages back?
Even Andrew pointed out, so you're comparing them to two lovable people? Like, what?
News with Alicia Krause.
And related to our late friend Charlie Kirk, of course, known from The Office, actor Rainn Wilson said that he has some Hollywood liberal friends that are currently celebrating his assassination.
Well, in a world where you try to be consistent, one should be celebrating the death of evil if one is being consistent.
Yeah.
Or, if somebody said, I had a neighbor who was an old man and I hated the guy's guts, and he rode me and he called Department of Building and Safety and he checked unsanitary living conditions on me, and my house was fine and renovated. Anyway, the whole point is when he died, I didn't shed a tear.
Yeah.
I didn't make posts on Facebook explaining that I was happy that
or saying all the horrible things that he said or ever did.
No, but I was not upset because I kept it pretty consistent. I did not like the guy. He was a bad person in my world. He did bad things to me, and if you then believe that that's who this person is, then it would make sense that you would celebrate the death of that person. I mean, there's sort of extremes,
I don't. Does faith component play into it, or does also like a political component? I mean, Don Jr. talked about at the funeral. He was like, there's one side that celebrates death and there's another side that doesn't, and we want to be on the side that doesn't celebrate it.
Well, they don't have a religion. Politics is their religion. So then you have a religion, and everybody who was at the Charlie Kirk Memorial has a religion, and so they're deeply religious. So if the devil died, then they would celebrate. But to the atheists, there are no devils. There's living devils. There's Trump and Kirk and Tucker Carlson, depending on what day it is, and Ben Shapiro, depending on what other day it is. And they just have the people they disagree with, but they don't have God or heaven or the rapture or anything. So this is their religion, which, by the way, is why they paint everything in a sort of religious text, evil.
Yes.
And meaning religious people, like you take all the Charlie Kirk people, the people who filled the stadium and the people who spoke. They don't like a lot of, they don't like Nancy Pelosi. But they don't really throw around the word evil. Yes. They just don't like her and they disagree with the policy and stuff. Because if you're religious, evil...
Like a dumb bee might be the meanest thing they say about her.
Right, because you need to use the word evil for real evil.
Yes.
Because there is actual evil. Having 2 walk-in size refrigerators filled with Haagen-Dazs double fudge does not make you evil.
Getting your hair done during COVID when everybody else was shut down.
Right, but that doesn't make you Stalin. That doesn't make you a person that digs mass graves and things like that. So I think there's a context that religious people have where they go, this is what evil is.
Yes.
And we will save our stuff for what is evil. And the guy who shot Charlie Kirk is evil. So we'll call him evil and we'll call the ladies from The View dumb bitches. And that's where we'll take it. But
we're not broad stroking everybody on the left that we disagree with as evil.
Well, they claim to be religious, but they're not religious. And so
like Nancy Pelosi, who claims to be Catholic, but is
Nancy
super
Pelosi,
duper pro-abortion.
Yeah, and Biden and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not. And neither is Hollywood. So then evil gets real blurry for them because they can think that if Hobby Lobby is not giving their female employees birth control, then they're evil. Meanwhile,
and the nuns who also wouldn't do the same thing that the Obama administration wanted to sue are also evil.
Right, but then they forget about the people in parts of Africa that are, Boko Haram or something, who's abducting young school-age girls and killing them. So my thing with evil is I don't like to toss it out that willy-nilly because I feel like it loses some of its impact. You know what I mean? If I call if Nancy Pelosi's evil and mass murders are evil, then one of them's not evil or both of them aren't evil.
And when there is a danger. I'm not going to be that type of person that's like, well, where's it dangerous? That's not my vibe. But when the left is consistently saying those things over and over and over again, then it does fudge the lines a bit because it's like, so then somebody should be killed for what they say?
Well,
then should they?
Here's an interesting thing, and I'll see if I can be a little bit profound here because I had a thought today I had never thought about.
Sometimes you can be.
It can be. Okay. It's like when they call people racist, they don't believe that person's racist. They just throw stuff out all day, every day.
To try to win an argument that they have no factual evidence for.
They don't have enough dignity to realize that's kind of a horrible thing to say about somebody, and you should choose your words wisely, and this person wasn't that, but they don't care. So it's a dignity thing. But anyway, they call everyone's racist, and again, they don't believe it. So, we do this thing where it's like, oh, you got all these guys calling Trump Hitlerian and a dictator going into the election. Then they win the election and, they're having lunch with him at the White House, and then everyone goes, why would you have lunch with Hitler? Because they never believed he was Hitler. That's why they have love with Hitler. But these are been there, done that. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, 70-something-year-olds, 80-something. They've been around the block a zillion times, But
they know they have to kiss the ring.
Yeah, but they're not that corruptible in that they don't think he's Hitlerian. They don't think he's racist. They don't think he's socialist or he's a dictator. They say it, but they don't believe it. Now, here's what I'm getting to. Well, first off, if Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi actually thought Trump was Hitlerian or Hitler, then they should get themselves a briefcase bomb and go visit him in the Oval Office. That's what a patriot would do if you thought that's what it was. They don't think it.
Or actually unseat him in a constitutional manner, maybe create a military coup. There's lots of options.
Yeah, but
they haven't even pursued that. They did the whole impeachment
so what
thing,
I'm saying is it'd be Project Valkyrie or whatever that Tom Cruise movie was. The whole point is they don't believe it, is what I'm saying. They don't believe it. And I don't believe it, and you don't believe it, because we're older, we've been there, and we've done that, and that's fine. But what if I just grow up staring at screens and playing, first shooter video games and on all these dark corners of the web since I was 9, and now I'm 21. Well, then I might believe it. Because I used to say during COVID, they're scaring all the kids so they can crate train the kids, because you got to get hold of that pup young and crate train them early. And you get hold of them early,
then they have to rely on you.
Yes, you can crate train them.
Yep.
And you go, hey, into the crate. And they just go run for the crate. You can't do it to old Adam Carolla. His brain, the cement on the sidewalk of Adam Carolla's brain dried a long time ago, and you can't put your initials in it, bitch.
There's a tree with roots growing up under.
Popped it up. Old woman fell, broke her hip last weekend. City still never got to it. It's been 4 years.
Gum is just pressed into the...
I like when the city puts spray paint on it, where it's like, look, we're not going to fix anything, but we will put some spray paint on it.
Make sure your walker doesn't hit this old broad.
So you can't get to me.
Yep.
I don't believe you that he is Hitler, but if all I did was play video games and sit online and go to deep corners of the web since age 10,
or if
and
you
now
were in
I'm 21.
If you were in the Rainn Wilson, Mark Ruffalo, liberal Hollywood circles, those people ain't 21 that have been sitting on video games. They're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're like calling the shots on the entertainment that the world is seeing.
But they don't believe it either.
Well, okay, so
they don't believe it like do you know moderately rich people live on the hillside of Malibu, but super rich Hollywood people all live along the coast, on the water in Malibu. I mean, you got to think about that stretch of Malibu, Carbon Beach and whatnot, Billionaires Beach. You walk up and down Pacific Coast Highway, people always go, oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio's place. Like, I literally... a showbiz friend of mine lived next door to Leonardo DiCaprio's. Everything is, that's Barbara Streisand. All the wokest, all the most environmentalists, they're all vying to pay an extra $20 million to get 60 feet closer to the ocean, although they never stop talking about sea rising. So do they believe it? No, they do not.
Yep.
They do not believe it. And they don't believe Hitler either. But that doesn't mean you can't get dumb 15-year-olds to believe. That doesn't mean you can't get Greta Thunberg to believe it.
Oh, God.
All right, so we'll listen to the clip. Who is this? Mark
Ruffalo? Is Mark Ruffalo's podcast, and Rainn Wilson was on the podcast over the weekend, and this is what he had to say.
With his ideas, shooting someone that we disagree with, even if they're vociferous and loud and out there, is so colossally wrong-headed. I spoke to a couple of, let's say, some liberal friends last night at an event, and they were like, you won't find me shedding any tears. And someone else was like, oh, well, it was a little bit of a kind of a good riddance thing. And it's like, guys, no.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
We cannot think or talk that way.
Not at all.
That is not
it's
okay.
So dangerous, man. I mean, my first thought was, also we had another school shooting.
Yeah. Which totally got buried in the headlines.
Yeah, got buried in the headlines. Of course it would, though. And listen, I'm someone who, my brother was murdered. I lost my brother through gun violence, And so this is a real personal topic for me. There's no winning. We'll never win this way. There's no idea that if we cheer on our opponents being hurt or harmed in any way, that we win as a society. And there's we all lose. Like those, I know what his family is going through. Like I understand that on such a personal level, and it's a tragedy that not only the person who is killed experiences, but the entire family and community around that person.
I don't think Mark Ruffalo needs a podcast. This not a guy needs a podcast. Like,
but even though I agree with you that he doesn't need a podcast, and I disagree with him 99.999% of the time, like his stances on Israel is just utter bullshit. I appreciate him saying this.
Well,
but it's so crazy that this has to be said.
The bar is so goddamn low now that a guy just speaking sense and being halfway
like, we're
human.
not okay with murder? You're not okay with murder? Oh, you're not okay with murder? And then we're cheering him on.
Now something
like,
we can agree on.
That, right?
Yeah. Anyway, not everyone needs a podcast. Mark doesn't need a podcast.
There's a lot of celebrities that have podcasts, though. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
They don't all need one. There are people who can talk and people who can think, and
sometimes it's not the same.
If your podcast, if you took an hour-long podcast of his and got rid of the air and the filler and the stuff that didn't need to be said, it could be 9 minutes.
So talk radio thing, when I was a producer, sometimes when you had a fill-in host, they would always request like a ton of guests and a ton of callers.
Right.
And the reason they request a ton of guests and a ton of callers is because they don't feel confident in their ability to fill 3 hours of radio.
Well,
which is actually 2 hours of radio once you take out the commercials and the break, all that stuff.
I talk through the commercials, so for me, it's a full 3 hours, babe. It's a skill, and it's an invisible skill, and people don't get it. And it's reps, and it's everything else, and it's no different than playing the piano or riding a unicycle or archery or something. Like, you've got to practice. Like,
I love how you just named a couple of things that you can do.
Archery, piano.
Unicycle.
No, I named things specifically that I can't do, but I can ride a unicycle. But no one would hand somebody a unicycle and go, off you go.
Yep.
You'd go, I never rode. Come on, hop on.
Do it. Anybody can do it.
You'd go, no, the guy's got to do it for a little while, or piano or archery.
Yep. It's a gift.
Well, no. I'm saying the opposite.
But
I'm saying it's not a gift. I think
it's both.
Well, look.
I think it's totally both. I think that, so I used to work for Hannity, and I used to produce his radio show, and Sean is unique in that he has the ability to do cable TV and a 3-hour radio show. And his original love was radio. You're unique in that you can do stand-up comedy and podcasting. There are people that are kick-ass stand-up comics, but they couldn't do a podcast every day.
I thank you. And I'm not really pushing back against both. I'm saying the reps part of it will make you proficient at it, but you don't get to Sean Hannity household name level without the gift and the reps, back to archery. I could sit and hire an instructor who came to your home every day for an hour, and you could be okay, but you wouldn't be gifted like someone might be gifted, or a race car driver.
Yeah, I'm not going to be an Olympic archer.
Yeah, you could get around the track at a good pace on the car, but you wouldn't necessarily have that instinct, So yeah, reps are important, and we've all been on people's radio shows that just had reps and they didn't have any ability, but the reps were enough to kind of keep the plate spinning. All right, anyway, Mark Ruffalo doesn't need a podcast. Here we go. What's our next story?
Our next story is kind of along the same lines of the importance of free speech. Angelina Jolie said that she doesn't recognize the United States while advocating for free speech at a film, the San Sebastian International Film Festival. I was just there. I saw them setting up for that.
I would say this. Here's one of the few times I could agree with Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
If she would walk through the San Fernando Valley, walk through Sunland, walk through Pacoima, walk through Canoga Park, look at all the signs in Spanish, listen to all the radio shows, see all the garbage and graffiti everywhere, and see everyone selling the dogs on the street and go, I don't recognize this country. I would go, you're right, bitch. I don't either. It looks more like Tijuana to me. But she would never say that. She would just talk about systemic oppression or totalitarian, whatever, but never impacts them.
I think she likes the international vibe. She says, quote, I have to say that I love my country and I don't at this time recognize my country. She told this to people at a press conference, specifically per The Hollywood Reporter on Sunday. I've always lived internationally. My family's international. Of course, I'm sure she's referring to her children who are adopted from, 4 different countries?
I'm guessing.
My life, my worldview is equal and united. Anything, anywhere that divides or limits personal expressions and freedoms for anyone, I think is very dangerous. I think these are such serious times that we have to be careful not to say things so casually. And she said that she was going to be careful about what she said at the press conference, which was really sad. And then she said, but these are very, very heavy times.
She doesn't need a podcast either.
Agree.
I'll decide. I would like to just...
You want a list? That'd be a fun game.
I want to issue badges like New York City used to do with taxis or liquor permits
like this
out here.
Celebrity deserves a podcast. This celebrity does not.
Tell
Let's play
me
that
why
game next time I'm here.
the poobah, the grand poobah of podcasters, you convince me why you deserve a podcast, and I will either issue you a badge or not.
I think I just want to toss out names, and then you can be like, yay or nay.
You know what, though? I'm going to be a little more even-handed.
Some people do it well. Some people who are actors and stuff, they obviously have the relationships. They can get you can get certain celebrities in here. That's interesting conversation that the American audience likes to see, like the behind the curtain, and they do it well. But then others do not do it well, and they're trying to copycat, and it just doesn't work.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but it's the woman who made the vagina candles. Should she have a podcast?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
God, no.
I'd have to smell the candle and sleep on it.
Right.
Physically on. When I say on it, I mean on the candle.
We know.
I think I was trying. I hope I was being clear.
I got it.
A lot of people think I'm thinking about it when I say sleep on it. I mean actually on that candle,
but not with it.
She's very interesting. She's got.
I can't stand the sound of her voice.
Experience.
She's been there and she's done that. I would listen to her. She has to now come in and impress me before I issue her badge that lets her do podcasting.
You can talk to her about ski accidents and and defeating the legal system.
She hit a guy on the slope. The guy sued her.
She won.
What I'd probably do with her is I'd go, I'm going to issue you a 6-month badge.
Oh.
And we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And if I don't like what I hear, then you'll get no badge.
Okay.
I will take the badge back. But let's just see how this goes.
All right.
Trial badge. But she could have. That's my whole point. I don't know. She could be out of this world. I don't want to say she's bad just because I would assume she's bad, but she might be super interesting.
So you'll give her a 6-month badge, but Angelina Jolie, you don't want to hear at all?
Well, she already said she had to be careful what she says.
Yeah, so that's not going to make for an interesting podcast.
That's a strike.
You need a little edge.
This might be a softball.
Okay.
Charlize Theron.
I hate Charlize Theron. Hate her. But I'll listen to what she has to say.
Don't you think you already know what she has to say?
Well, see, I think
a lot of these people don't have much to say because they're so used to saying things that have been written by other people.
Charlize Theron, I don't know if you guys are with her, Theron. I don't know if you're there. I file them under the Ilhan Omar heading in that. People who live here who hate this country bother me. But people who come here from shitty countries and thrive here who shit on this country bother me to a next level.
I get that.
Right?
Yeah.
And the people especially the people who have experienced all the fruits of this country while
like Mamdani.
Yes, while escaping someplace. Now, the worse your country was, and the more you have here, the more I hate you. And she came from South Africa, and she got here. God, Trevor Noah does this too. He comes here from South Africa, and then he talks about what a racist piece of shit this country is. It drives me nuts. I don't want to get into that simple game of why don't you just go back? But I do think that just go fucking back. If your heart's in the Sudan or whatever the fuck it is, then just go enjoy your paradise that you fled from with your guys chasing you with machetes. But okay, she came here. She's a billionaire, has a life of Riley, adopts whomever she wants to adopt, and then goes on tirades explaining to us why there's certain places she won't bring her black kids because of this racist country we're living in, except for she never says the places. Just, and also...
She's never like Mobile, Alabama.
Well, and her kid statistically is going to get shot by a black kid, not by a white supremacist.
If they are in an unsafe neighborhood that BLM has told us shouldn't be policed.
Right. So she...
And joins a gang.
So, there's Ilhan Omar's at the top because her country was horrible and she's a millionaire now and all she does is shit on this country. But there is plenty of room for anybody. Again,
should Ilhan Omar have a podcast?
No, she shouldn't. Well, first off, she's not a great speaker.
I'd rather her spend her time on a podcast than her spend time like passing horrible legislation and radicalizing the Democratic Party
just
anymore.
On CNN. Okay. Homegrown sort of...
Homegrown ungratefulness is, I think, more so understandable because you have been, it's like the bourgeois terrorists. It's like you're in this little protective bubble and you like to think that you're a quote unquote freedom fighter and you have this, all of these first world privileges that you think are horrible and awful while you're living off of daddy's trust fund.
Yes.
I can kind of understand the psyche of that. So I agree wholeheartedly. But when it's someone else from another country that's come here and utilized our awesome system to grow themselves and to grow their bank accounts and to grow their fame, then they do that.
Especially if we literally saved your life because you fled here and it's just bash. Those are the worst for me.
Yep.
That's who I hate the worst. All right. What's the next one?
All right. Apparently misogyny knows no gender. Alex Wagner and Senator Joe Manchin discussed Kamala Harris's new book, apparently woke words and government shutdowns on Bill Maher over the weekend. We have a video of this.
No podcast for Alex Wagner, by the way.
You don't think the Republicans would vote for a woman?
I just think misogyny runs deeper and stronger than we like to imagine.
It does. I'm not.
I think the country is ready for a change, Bill. And if it has a good woman and a good strong woman, I think every time I had to negotiate a bill, and I had female senators, I thought a better bill. The compassion they brought to it, the understanding they brought to it was different than what a man thinks. And they had so much more. So maybe
but then
no podcast.
Why are we so far behind most other countries in the world?
I don't know. White women keep giving elections to Donald Trump, so there's that reality too. It's not just we're talking about a binary here where it's men and women. That just misogyny knows no gender.
Oh, really?
Ugh.
By the way,
so bad.
So I like Nikki Haley. Probably going to get hit for that in comments, but put up a good female candidate, and I bet you white women in the country that care about national security and our bank accounts not going downhill and schools being better for our children would vote for that woman. But turns out Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton haven't been that. So stop trying to be like, vote for them because of their hoo-ha. How about we vote for the person that we think is going to be best for us, our business, and our families?
Speaking of hoo-ha, I'm going to need one of Gwyneth Paltrow candles ordered up.
For the night.
Sleep on that?
Yep.
Tonight?
Got it.
So get that express ship.
You think you can Amazon Prime it?
I was thinking I spent the day and then the evening with Dave Rubin and Sage Steele. And in our world, in the projection world of the Democrats, like gay man, black woman of color.
Unless you're conservative.
But I realized as I met them and we hung out and then went out with their Sage's husband that night and everybody, and I took them out to dinner. I just thought, I never thought about their sexual proclivities or the color of their skin once the entire time because I would just know Sage as Sage.
Yep.
And Dave is Dave. I don't, it makes no never mind. I know it sounds convenient. Guys like me are the guys they claim think about it the most and would never vote for.
Yeah, like you and Trump and the Bible Belt people.
And blah, blah, blah. Yep. I have zero interest. Dave Rubin, the second he starts giving me ideas, then he ceases to be a gay man and he's just a guy with ideas, And I don't know a person, first off, said this a million times, if this is their game, and it is their game, Gavin Newsom is 6'2" and he's white. I'm 6'2" and I'm white. We're approximately the same age. We're both heterosexuals and we're both born and bred in California. And I think he's a sociopathic, imbecile, dangerous nut job. I would never want him coming near the White House. He's dangerous to me because his ideas are so corrupt, but he doesn't even have his own ideas. He's a sociopathic fucking buffoon, and I would much rather have the blackest man I know, Larry Elder, as the governor of California. Why? Because his ideas are better. And I don't know.
And by the way, his ideas are better, not just for you, the 6'2" white man from Brentwood, Los Angeles, California, but his ideas are better, we think, and we have the proof to back it up, for every single American, including the minority ones.
Right. So it's so condescending and slimy and just kind of gross to constantly go, we couldn't. Hillary Clinton is a horribly flawed person, and Kamala Harris is wildly flawed. And they're both bad people with bad ideas. I would never
and really
want them
bad
to charge
communicators
anything.
too.
They're both really bad at getting their message across. Yes. On the other hand,
maybe women aren't misogynistic. We just have really good BS monitors.
I would take Hillary Clinton over Joe Biden. I mean, it'd be close, but I'd take Hillary Clinton over Joe Biden.
Especially after we saw how horrible he was.
But I would take Sage Steele over Mitt Romney. All right, so just knock it off. It's 2025.
Mitt Romney, also a 6'2" white guy. Actually, I don't know if he's that tall. I think he's over 6 feet, though.
He may be. Yeah. All right, we got one more?
We do have one more.
All right.
Okay, Jasmine Crockett. Up there with Ilhan Omar and AOC of ladies that we do not want to have a podcast.
Yeah, well, to be fair to Jasmine, she just lies. I mean, Ilhan believes it, but I think Jasmine just lies. She doesn't care. Whose podcast
I don't know. It's Jonathan Van Ness. He's one of the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy guys.
Oh, okay.
Yep. How do you not know this? So he's one of the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy guys. Do you know the premise of the show?
He's got Kenny G's hair, but maybe
his hair is actually kind of fabulous.
Maybe the G stands for gay.
Well, he is very gay.
Well, then that's Kenny G.
All
right.
Sometimes he cross dresses.
Okay.
He wears the heels and the dresses.
People's
and stuff.
hair bother me a lot, but all right. So,
wait, does my hair bother you today?
No. I am.
What, like, you don't like men with long hair?
Well, it's like almost that guy can't really decide.
I don't like I don't like people with lots of hair and lots of trouble hair.
Trouble hair?
Trouble hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a lobby of a fancy hotel over the weekend, and a family came in, and the three daughters, probably aged 9 to 13, all just had massive cornrow, just piles of hair. And I just thought, that's a full-time job for all three of you. Like, you're spending an inordinate amount of time
on
dealing with this hair. And, you know, there's 24 hours in the day. I mean, there's only a certain amount, there's a finite amount of time you can spend on things.
But God gave them that hair. God, I don't think, gave Jonathan Van Ness this hair. He's working on this hair. So I think he's spending an inordinate amount of time on his hair to make it look
didn't
this
give
way.
anyone 3-foot-long braids.
No, that's true. But they genetically have different hair, and like using the cornrows is the way that they do their hair. Like, that's fine.
I'm saying they spend an inordinate amount of time on their hair, and I think it's a waste of time.
Do you know how much time white women spend on their hair? Other than this one right here? Because I don't fix it ever?
You couldn't spend more time than what these guys were spending on their hair, because that's a lot. Anyway, you disagree. Here we go. Although you don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway. Let's go
what ends up having people become criminally impacted really informs so much of what I do legislatively, right? So when people are like, oh, you know, crime is terrible, and yes, it is, right? Like, because when somebody goes out and commits a crime, they don't typically, you know, say, well, I'm a D or I'm an R or I'm an I. It's not like literally like, it's about, well, how do you fix it? How do you make communities safer? And I do think that I'm in a unique situation because I was having the conversations with people that were going out and committing crimes. And so I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different. Being a criminal.
All right, you can pause it here.
Yep.
Dawson's been around long enough to hear me. I've been yelling about this for a decade now. It's not the nut job, crackpot, stupid politician in your studio who's at fault. It's the head nodders. You do say. Like they go, just
what
because
she said was just so profound.
Just because I am a Pisces doesn't mean I act like a Pisces. Yeah. Okay. I hear. I've yelled about it all the time. That was all the idiots on CNN who are like, well, there's horse pace. No one went, hey, you're misunderstanding this point, or there's a polite way to do it. You can go, that sounded confusing.
Yep.
Explain that.
Well,
I want to hear him. I want to hear his again. That's my favorite.
The part where she says, just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That's when he does the
Oh, wow. Powerful. I've never thought about that before.
I want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different.
So hold on.
Sounds like
You're
it's tasting
saying
soup.
Just because I'm a clown and I work at a circus doesn't make me a circus clown? You ready, Dawson? I want some knowing nods, all right? You ready? Just because I'm the dean of students at Colfax Elementary doesn't mean I'm the dean of students at Colfax Elementary. Well, I like that. That went up. That had a question mark to it.
That was a tell me more.
I want a knowing grunt.
Okay.
I want a knowing grunt. In my world, one death is too many deaths when it comes to death. I dream of a world where everyone has a seat at the table of dignity.
Yeah.
And where no child gets left behind.
She began by talking about what she does legislatively. I would argue that you've done the exact same amount
legislative work.
Well, I don't know that she ever goes to work. All I do is see her on TV.
On podcasts.
Shows and podcasts.
And behind a podium talking about Governor Hot Wheels.
Governor Hot Wheels. I forgot about that.
Remember that? And then she said she didn't say it. And then there was video of her saying it.
I will,
it's like own up to it.
I will say this. We are living in a world now where videotape of you doing or saying something doesn't mean that much.
Oh my God. My husband and I were talking about this last night, like with conspiracy theories, because of just AI and editing and all the talking heads. And it's like, who can be trusted and who can't? It's real life Manchurian Candidate meets, I don't know, 1984 meets a lot of factors when you could make up something that you and I said and it could go viral. And then once the truth comes out, it's like the New York Times corrections that come out like a week later, and like a bajillion people see the first one, but then only 50,000 people see the second. It's kind of scary.
Well, the scary part is most of the sort of hoaxes or fake news or whatever we had to deal with all throughout COVID and before that, a lot of Russiagate stuff and that kind of stuff. It's all on video. They're self-imposed confusion about fine people on both sides or whatever. There's injecting bleach or something. You can watch the video on your phone.
Yeah.
But they're still moving forward with it. And then my favorite one is when someone is clearly joking, says somebody, or like you take,
like Trump was at the memorial service about hating his enemies, and he like was doing it for the laugh.
No, but
NPR and CNN run with, despite forgiveness from a mostly Christian audience, Donald Trump says he hates his enemies.
Well, the ones I like, yes, I like that one. I like Dictator Day One.
Yes.
Because in the same video, he goes, then I'm going back and I'm just going to do it to drill and get energy independent. It's the most interpretable thing on the planet. So now, I don't know what you call it when you willfully misinterpret things other people say, but that's a bad place to be in.
Dishonest, lack of character, dangerous.
As a journalist, it's not a good default setting.
Journalist.
As I would say. The Equinox gym's behind me. That's a gym I used to belong to, and it's been closed ever since the fire. It's been over 9 months now. But good news, fat asses. There's another establishment across the street that opened almost immediately and has been open ever since. And that's why we're fat. Okay, so within about 300 feet, maybe less, you got a lot that just sold. You got another one for sale about 100 feet down that way. This one that just sold, and you got that one about 80 feet down that way sold. So within a course of about 8 or 9 lots, you got 3 that are either for sale or already sold. Oh, this already sold. This is just the strip in front of my place. This isn't all of PCH or all of Malibu. We're just talking about 2-block strip, maybe 20, 25 lots just in front of my place, and we've already spotted 3 that have either sold or are for sale. So it's now 5 lots, probably out of 13 or 14 lots, 5 of them are for sale. I hear most going to Chinese folk who are buying them all up. These are lots that are probably $6 million a piece, maybe 7,000, 7,500 square feet. So very small lots, very expensive lots. And as you can see, the people who lived here for years, these are family homes, have chosen not to try to rebuild. Sound about make my point? All right, something is going on because I counted 8 lots for sale in front of my residence, and that's a short run. I mean, that's out of maybe 25 or 30 lots, 8 of them are for sale. So I don't know if the Chinese are buying them all up, and I don't know how it works, but there's an inordinate amount of lots being sold and not being rebuilt by the owners. And obviously you can see there's no rebuilding going on by any owner on PCH. As predicted from the hotel room one day after the fire, and I say one day after the fire, I mean 8 hours after the fire, I sat in that hotel room in Burbank and I said there shall be no rebuilding because there will be no giving of permits. And we're 9 months. And I don't see one stitch of building materials. So lots of lots for sale and 0 rebuilding. And when there's no rebuilding, well, there shall be gangbangers and there shall be graffiti. Graffiti is basically LA's version of ivy. In your nice town, if you leave stuff long enough, ivy will grow over it. And in LA, if you leave stuff long enough, graffiti will grow over it. In LA, if you sit on a park bench for too long, you will be tagged. Temescal Canyon, now I took a tour of this with Colonel Saucer, and it was set up to be a corridor of work and ingenuity. They had pulverizers, concrete pulverizers. Everything was set up. And I went back a month later, and it was pristine and new and freshly painted, and you couldn't even tell they were there. And my point is, we're capable of doing this. This is what we can do if we set our mind to it. Now, Karen Bass isn't going to get this done, and Gavin Newsom's not going to get it done, but we can get this done. Temescal Canyon was Damnation Alley. It was more rebar, more scrap, more busted up concrete, more building materials, tractors and hose and cherry pickers and huge pieces of equipment, by the way, conveyor belts and concrete pulverizers and everything, major heavy equipment, all the way up and down this canyon with semi-trucks lined up at the top and pulverizers and metal extractors in the middle and guys with heliarcs and acetylene cutting rigs. And we went from that to pristine, brand new. You could have a kids soapbox derby race there on a Sunday. That's what we did. We went from this to you didn't even know we were there. Like it never even happened, just like they say in the commercial. So that's what we're capable of. We can go from this to this, but only if we try. Throughout this series, I've been talking a lot about caissons. Maybe you guys didn't know what caissons were. This is a caisson. Drill a hole, put a form on it, put rebar in it, pour concrete into it, go down 20 feet, 30 feet, maybe into bedrock. So I've talked about a lot. That is a caisson rig. That is a drill for caissons. So it turns that. It's got a big auger bit on it. There's an auger bit right there. One is an auger, the other is a hole saw type bit. You put the bit on the end of it, the rig lowers it down, you drill the caisson holes, you put the form in it, you fill it with concrete, and that's the way you can build out over the ocean. That hose is for concrete pumps because they're going to have to pump it. They're not going to be able to back a concrete truck and put a chute into this. They're going to pump it. The concrete truck will pull up there. It'll have a pump behind it. The forms will be in the caissons, and they'll drop a rebar cage into it, and then they'll fill it with concrete. That's what they're doing with that caisson rig. See, old school pile drive. New school caisson. Caisson pile. This one gets rammed into the ground by pile driver. That gets drilled and formed and poured. This house is built like a bunker, poured in place, retaining wall, grade beams, caissons down at the end, and some kind of steel I-beam center section here. And once again, it'd be pretty easy to build here if you could just start from here. But if the integrity of the concrete is compromised, then you got to bust all this up, and this goes down into the earth. So that'd be your first $1 million right here, or you could just start framing on Monday. But yeah, someone's going to have to core this, sample it, bring it to a lab, do a crush test on it, and see if it's good to go. These are J-bolts. All these J-bolts are sunk into the concrete when it's wet. And when they frame it, they put the treated bottom plate on top and they bolt it down with this. And this is a hold down. This was through bolted to like a main beam, like a 4x beam. The rest of these are 2x, but this is a hold down. This is a, I can't move it. That's a hold down that went through on the corners. That's a hold down. The corners have hold downs where they through bolt through this stuff. And over here, see this? This is old because this wall is formed with 1x6. See the stripes every 6 inches? Those are boards every 6 inches. Those pieces of metal tabs coming through go all the way through. They're called form ties. So the form doesn't blow out. Form it with 1x6, slide the form ties in between the boards, the 1x6s, and put shims on either side of it. It's formed on the inside, it's formed on the outside. Pump the concrete in, and the form ties prevent it from blowing out. So as you can see, there's form ties all over this, because this isn't formed with plywood. This is formed with 1x6. So this is old. In other words, this is how they used to do it. So now they would form it out of plywood. You ever go to those old movie theaters, like in the wings of an old theater from the 20s, you see all the stripes in the back that aren't painted or finished, you know, they don't have the plaster on them, just like in the wings. That's what that is. And by the way, they even simulate that now when they're building a cool new house, but they want to make it look old school architecture. They do a kind of form where they have those old school lines. If you go to like stand in the outside of the Coliseum, you'll see all those lines going across. 1x6 lumber, because they hadn't invented plywood yet. Okay, what do I know? So I told you the old way they would form poured concrete is 1x6 with those form ties every 6 inches in between the boards, but now they form with plywood. So those are sheets of plywood, and those circular things are a newer form of form tie, so the plywood doesn't blow out when you pump the concrete into it. But as you can see, you don't need near as many, and there's not all the seams you would have every 6 inches with a piece of 1x6. So that's the old way to form. This is the new way to form. Nine months since the fire. 9 months. No construction. Zero construction. No forms, no form ties, no 1x6, no headers, no king studs, no trimmers, no womanized bottom plates, no J-bolts, no joist hangers, no HDs, no Simpson straps, no Tico clips, no OSB, no CDX half-inch good one side struck one, no oriented strand board, no ridge rafters, no paralams, no sublams, no crickets, no valves, no hips, no ridge rafters, no floor joists, no rim joists, no cripple walls, no 10-penny sinkers, no 16-penny sinkers, no 8-penny vinyl-coated sinkers, no 10-penny ring shank nails, no red heads, no expanding bolts, no tap cons, no Z flashing, no L flashing, no SK flashing, no fry riglet, no drip edges, no bugle-headed coarse-threaded drywall screws, no mill core, no K-lath, no paralams, and by the way, no tools. No propane-powered slab drivers, no powder-actuated pin guns, no roto hammers, no D-handle hole hogs, no half-inch drill motors, no plunge routers, no scroll saws, no bayonet saws, no reciprocating saws, no banjo saws, no coping saws, no T-squares, no hip valve squares, no combination squares, no construction squares, no collated screw guns, no diagonal cutters, no channel locks, no vice grips, no sliding compound miter saws, no Vaughan hatchet-handled 22-ounce waffle-headed framing hammers, no 18-volt impact drivers, no hypoid saws, no nothing. Nothing. I don't know what the future holds. I cannot imagine how this is going to work, because far be it from me to side with the city and the Coastal Commission, but those places are going to have to be rebuilt, and the ones that are on the water are going to have to be rebuilt to a certain standard, and the septic's going to have to be redone to a certain standard, and fire and fire prevention and all the other sort of codes that go along with not letting this happen again are going to have to be in place. So it's going to take a while.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, gone are the days of honor student bumper stickers. I saw one the other day that said, proud parent of a Woodbrook student who cares. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
You know, it's so funny. Leisha Krause in studio. I'd plug her thing, but I don't have her bio on
That's
here.
okay. You know, I don't do much.
It's
like this show, campus speeches.
I was at a Starbucks in Texas, and the big sign is how they practice kindness. And I just thought, first off, what are we spackling over for in our society, like kind? And also, I don't need that relationship with the guy behind the counter at Starbucks. I just need my coffee, and then I give you the money, and then I leave, and then you can be kind at home to your kids or your puppy.
It's important to be kind to people, but like, you know,
whoa.
Like most veterans that served in World War II would look cooler on a sign.
Stop. You can stop talking the third time I say stop. You don't have to be kind to people. You have to treat people with a decorum. You know what I mean? Like
respect.
Somebody extends their hand, you shake the hand. You know, when you walk up to somebody, you don't walk, even if you're in a little bit of a tizzy, you have to say to them, you know, excuse me, where's security at this? You can't run up and go, hey, bitch, where's security? I'm fucking late. You know, but you don't have to keep, it's not something you need to remind yourself to do. It's just life.
It should be innate.
You say yes, you say thank you, you say please, you ask a question, you say thanks for that, a little back and forth. It's just it's part of society and being a human. And
it shouldn't override common sense. Like, we shouldn't be like, we got to be so kind. We got to go bend over backwards for this thing that makes no sense.
So here's the thing. I would much rather have a neighbor who was fair and had a lot of character and was a balanced person than a kind person, because kind people, it's a facade.
Yes.
I want character.
I'd say nice is a facade. When people are like, oh, they're nice. I think kindness is like innate.
Well, kindness is a little more in your bone marrow than nice, and I agree. But we're taking kind and we're beating the shit out of it now because we're putting it. We don't need it at a coffee place. That's what I'm saying.
I think actually it's like circling back to what you guys were kind of talking about before the break was like, it's what the left uses as a banging over your head word.
Yes.
That if you therefore are like, hey, I don't want a transgender person reading to my kid's kindergarten class, they're like, you're so unkind.
Yes, their version of kind is taking most of your money from you and giving it to people who are going to squander it.
100%.
Right. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's kind to anybody, but forget about much less me.
Brutal to me, dude.
All right, we got Trump.
Well, it's also real quick. It's just like I'm teaching my kids to read. It's driving me nuts. I can barely read myself, and now I'm trying to teach them to read. Why does another man dressed like a truck stop hooker want to read to other people's kids? That sounds absolutely painful to me.
No, he doesn't. Listen, he's doing it to piss you off, not for any other reason. There's no.
Exactly.
I've said this a million times. Who the fuck wants to go to a public library on a Saturday and read to 5-year-olds? Like, that sounds like the worst Saturday. I want to watch college football and get drunk.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fucking put on a tutu and go to the library. And he's only doing it because, well, they're all pissed at their dad.
Yeah, 100%.
They hate their dad, and they're also, a lot of them got molested.
Probably by their uncle.
They're all scrambled. All right, what do you got, Alicia Krause?
We do have video here. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that she might return to politics at some point, but right now she's stepping back. She did an 11-minute a Facebook Live video talking about all of her issues with the GOP and Donald Trump. You've seen the meme, though, about how people are saying that Trump in this video is kind of dressing like Zoran Mamdani after hanging out with him for 30 minutes. It's hilarious. And so Trump, after saying on Truth Social that she was a traitor, then also thanked her for her service. This he sounds like a crazy ex. Like, she was the worst, but man, I miss her. So let's watch Donald talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene here.
Before you had a fight with Elon Musk and you guys were able to work it out.
No, I get along with everybody.
We see the same thing happening between you and some.
Sure, why not? I mean, I get along with everybody.
He's such a...
Can we do this? Can we Can they work out Marine One, the helicopter? Like
So it's not in the
how
background?
much warming up do those jet engines need? Like, can't we fire those things after the press? It's always that crazy jet sound in the background, and I'm like, I'm not a mechanic, but I do know stuff about stuff. Like, those things need 5 minutes of warm-up time. You could fire them after the news guys put the boom mic down and headed back in.
And then the president's walking up.
You start walking up, they'll fire it up, and if he's got to sit there and drink a Yoo-Hoo for 5 minutes, then like so be it. But we won't have this crazy jet sound
Do you think
behind
it's a security
everything.
reason? It must be like a security reason. Or sometimes, like, I think that part of the reason why the press gathers there is because it's not a planned presser, like when he goes into the.
It's also a nice picture to get on that.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that lots of times, like Biden, for example, would always walk by and like wave at him and be like, I don't got time.
Which of the 8 Bidens are you talking about?
The third plastic surgery
Nephilim Biden, Black Biden, Young Legs Biden.
I think Biden used it as an excuse not to
just walk out.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
But I think most presidents, it's not always a scheduled part of their day. So if they pop in, it's like a bonus.
It might be a security thing, but I would still say shut the turbines down. Let me finish my conversation and then fire it up when I get there. I mean, you get onto a Southwest flight, the engines aren't running when you're getting onto the flight.
Sometimes I wish they were where you could get out of there.
Yeah, they fire it up when you're on the plane.
I saw somebody on Twitter trying to go at MTG. They were like, I just want to say that she hit her retirement 2 weeks ago, just so you know. I'm like, and who doesn't just get to the retirement and then call it a day? Like, who's like, oh, I could retire now, but let me do 5 more years.
Retiring.
Well,
I don't think she's retiring.
The
I think
assumption was that she hit her.
Oh, she hit it and now she's peace.
Yeah, and who wouldn't do that?
No, I think that she saw the writing on the wall that she's going to have a probably pretty tough GOP primary. She already had a tough GOP primary before that she probably wouldn't have won if it hadn't have been for Trump's endorsement. I think that she has her sights set on another office, or I don't know, rumor has it, some people were speculating, could she be the new conservative on The View? Which
Or
of course they would go
OnlyFans.
with the most crazy one. They'd go with like the most crazy Republican lady to be on The View.
Well, they should get some balance on The View, right? Like, I don't get what's enticing about watching a team scrimmage its own team all day.
agree.
Why not scrimmage another team?
I don't disagree. I'm just like, does it have to be Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No,
Could it be Marjorie
yeah.
Taylor Greene and then like a Nikki Haley? Like a little bit of both sides?
No Nikki Haley ever anywhere. So real quick, here's the thing. It's like crazy to me that this show is how old? 40 years old, and there hasn't been one straight guy on the show. Like ESPN cannot shoehorn enough women into every single show. Like I watch the NBA draft, it's like 3 chicks and the bisexual talking about the draft. Like we can't get one guy on The View, just one dude who likes to bang chicks and
There's a lot
drive
of guests on that do that.
Yeah, but why? Like it's so crazy to me.
Here's the way the law works with chicks.
Yeah.
It's the same way with a women's only gym. Women's only gym is noble, but if you do a men's only gym, then you're misogynist douche, right?
So
the women, The View, like you go, why isn't there a guy's voice on them? And they go, because it's The View. It's about women.
The women's
But
view.
if you do halftime talk in the NFL, you got to get a woman in there. And if you say to them, well, we're just doing dudes, they go, no, you got to have a woman's perspective in there. But by the way,
Outnumbered has a dude.
Why do you
It's
need
like the 4 chicks and then the dude.
Why do you need a
The
woman?
conservative sports talk as a dude. Okay.
I don't know that you need a woman's perspective as thinking about the NFL, though, because
No,
it's the
but
NFL.
it's getting crazy because-
I agree with you. Well, when I did the Man Show, they said, "Where's the woman's voice?" And we said, "We don't
called
have
The
a
Man
woman's
Show.
voice."
Yeah, she's on the trampoline.
They're like,
That's her voice.
that's
She's
how
on
she-
wee. It's crazy because now in sports they have like the booth that calls the live games.
Yeah.
And now they've shoehorned women into that. And what they've actually done is taken the job of the former player. So now the former players aren't there. They have women in there.
Oh, boo hoo. Former successful NFL player.
Yeah, but that's. But
so here's the thing, though. This is looking at data and having
I
worked
just
in
want to
media
say
for
this to
20
you
years.
real quick. I've never been to Buffalo Wild Wings and saw 2 women arguing who is a better running back, Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders. Ever in my life.
I
I've
have
never
2
seen that.
girlfriends who could do that. Sam Ponder and Heather Cooney.
Yeah, I mean, you're just pulling
But they've never been in the same Buffalo Wild Wings.
Maybe not.
same
The
time.
different parts of the country. I think that statistically, ESPN is going, what do middle-aged dudes who watch sports like to see? Other than sports, hot chicks. So maybe let's take a hot chick and put her in here.
And guess who else doesn't like it? Women. I can't tell you how many chicks are like, why is this chick talking sports? It's just this whole thing.
If she's not qualified, like if it's a gender hire, that actually pisses me off. But if she's not qualified to be in that position,
No, you
but if
have
it's a
women
qualified
talking.
person,
Listen, I never played pro sports. I love pro sports. If the Dodgers said, "Hey Sam, do you want to sit in our booth and call these games?" I'd be like, "I'm not qualified to do that. I don't know anything. I love basketball. I couldn't call a game." They're shoehorning these chicks in, and they're just doing Google stats. And it's like, I want to hear the guy that played the game. Like, what are the players feeling right now?
I agree. I mean, you want to know what your perspective is from 13 years in the league or whatever it is. All right, I agree with Sam. Go ahead.
Yay!
What's the next one?
Next story. So I'm pretty biased about this story. Apparently, the Trump administration is telling people to dress with respect at airports. So I just kind of love it that the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, who's a dad of like 6, tells people, "Are you keeping control of your children?" So there's this social media video. Do we have video of it? Let's play this. This is hilarious.
Again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. Again,
So he says that manners don't need to stop at the gate. Like, let's bring the civility and manners back when you travel. Let's not have bare feet on seats and brawling at baggage drop. In this video, Duffy suggested that travelers ask themselves 5 questions before they travel for the Thanksgiving holidays. 1, are you helping a pregnant woman placing her bags in the overhead bin?
I do that.
Good for you. 2, are you dressing with respect? 3, are you keeping control of your children? 4, are you saying thank you to your flight attendants? And 5, are you saying please and thank you in general?
I have some issues with that. By the way, I go to airports. I don't see kids anywhere. This is not a good sign. I very rarely see kids at the airport.
I see more dogs than kids.
Yeah, it's not
Especially
a good
at
sign.
LAX.
It's not a good sign.
Okay, so he's right in that, when kids wear school uniforms at schools, there's less fighting and less behavior aggressive behavior and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like pumping in classical music versus rap music. Like, people tend to act as if. And so dressing nicer would lead to less sort of altercations and conflicts and things like that. There's also I noticed it at LAX after COVID, because COVID, everyone got used to doing business in their pajamas. They just said, stay home.
Yep.
So they're just doing meetings and going all Jeffrey Toobin on everyone's ass and having meetings at home, and they're doing their pajamas. And then at some point they opened back up and people never got out of their pajamas. They just went to LAX. And I have said a million times, it's true, LAX looks like a hotel where somebody pulled the fire alarm at 4 a.m. and everyone wandered down to the lobby and they're like wearing slippers with a boner, sweatpants.
You have that, or you have the other extreme, which is like all the TikTok influencers with their like full on-air lashes and extension and highlighter.
Yeah,
it's like both extremes.
I don't want to fly in a suit. That was crazy to me. A nice sweatsuit's nice.
Slippers.
Can I just say one thing, though?
Why can't an airport have a dress code? A restaurant has a fucking dress code.
Yeah, why not? I'm totally for that. Also, can we don't really need the seatbelt explanation. I think we all know that. Can you explain to people, and I'm going to lose some people on this, particularly ethnic people, how to get off a plane, meaning wait your aisle.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I mean, dude, I cannot. I get up instantly and I block everybody. I just
By the way,
up.
I'm just staring. They're assholes in my face. If you're sitting on the aisle and they're just standing there and the aisle's 14 inches wide. This guy's ass crack is 3.5 inches from my nose for 20 minutes while he stands there because he made his way
Do you
from the
guys
back
love
of
the
the plane.
people that are always they feel the need to call somebody, be like, yeah, I just landed. Yeah, I'm here for this thing.
I don't text it, but also this is a 2-part problem because they dumped their luggage off at the front of the plane when they were leaving, and then they went to the back, and now they're getting off the plane, but their luggage is in the front, and they think that's their territory now. So they're going to make their way to their luggage. It has to be enforced.
I get up and I instantly block the back. I'm like, wait your turn. And you're talking about butts in your face. Hand to God, I was flying to Austin, and there was a gay Latino, and he had a BBL. Have you ever seen a man with a BBL before?
What's a BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
A Brazilian butt lift on a dude?
It was like it was like a Latino guy up top and a Minotaur on the bottom.
I love that. I knew that.
And
You
he would
did it.
always talk to the row next to me, so his fart bazooka was constantly pointing at my face.
Wow. Like having a gun held to your head.
Yeah. I'm like, I have kids. Just take my
wallet. Yeah, I can make more money.
So you guys probably traditionally travel like this, like hoodies, comfortable clothes.
Okay, so here's the deal. Coach, it depends where you're flying, but it's so fucking tight and uncomfortable now, and I'm 6'2", and they keep shrinking everything.
Yep. They're shrinking
and so
it, dude.
wearing your peg leg jeans, your skinny jeans, and a denim shirt or something, that is not comfortable to fly in. So tennis shoes, sweatpants, but not like 70s sweatpants. Got to have pockets with a zipper.
Some Adidas.
Yeah, something that's a little thing, and a hoodie, sweat jacket, whatever, ball cap. Just something that's going to be comfortable to spend a lot of time in. And also pockets, like baggy pockets, like throw your earbuds and stuff like that. No problem. It's when you start showing up in slippers and pajamas.
It's okay. So my dad was
and tank tops.
the
and
crop top.
like one-piece yoga. I mean, some of these girls. Listen, I love looking at it, but I'm like, you're on a plane. Why do you look like you're going to the nightclub right now?
Yep. Right.
You're rocking camel toe. Again, not complaining, but it's like, this needs to be on Spirit Airlines when the kids are right here.
I agree.
And I can hear your camel toe barking. Let's please.
I agree.
So my dad was an American Airlines pilot, and when we flew standby, we literally had rules that you had to dress up. And like some airlines used to have rules that you couldn't be standby or non-rev and wear leggings. Like there was that whole United fiasco where the girl was like, the captain was so mean to me, he wouldn't let me fly first class. And he was like, yeah, because you're in leggings and a hoodie. I think we should go back to every airline should have like a level of dress code.
Yeah.
And I think
agree.
closed-toed shoes just make sense for safety reasons.
Listen, I'm with you. And what I say all the time is the airport and airlines are just one big rule. It's just rules, everything. Take your belt off, take your shoes off, take your ball cap off, you know. Like I remember I had my earbuds, they were just in my pocket. I walked through there. It's like I got earbuds, go back and put them through, you know, to go put them in a case, you know, and have them like it's just rules. You got locked out of flight. You should have checked your bag. You have a 50 minutes for the flight. You're 52 minutes. You didn't check your bag. You can't bring your bag on. There's templates to put the bag in. You find me more rules per square foot
than an airport.
Airport.
That's
okay.
a good point.
So it's all nonstop rules about you have to have your tray. I'm traveling with Mike August. You know, they get that little on top of the tray table. It's the little flap so you can put your phone on it. It's a little 4-inch
and
flap.
like holds it for you.
Yeah, holds it. So we had the ball game on. We're landing. The chick comes, flap up. It's like a little 4-inch piece of plastic, you know, up in it. Rules, man. Nothing but rules. And you start getting into them with the rules, and the sheriff will be waiting for you
You'll
on
end
that
up on a no-fly list.
Where else in the world are there more rules than this place? And my argument is as long as we got all the rules, why not just tack on a couple more rules?
Yeah, dress nice.
And by the way, it'll be up to you and the airline to, you know, the airline, you know, Southwest goes, we don't charge for one bag. Some are like, we don't charge for two bags. Some are like
Southwest
50.
charges for bags now.
Well, okay. What I'm saying is different places have different.
R.I.P.
Different. There are different criteria for different bags in different places. And that's all it is. You can use the lounge if you have a first class ticket or whatever, but you can't use it if you're only going to Phoenix because that's not far enough. Like rules. And you have to avail yourself of those rules. Like you can't just bring your hunting knife to the airport or your Glock, you know? So in a world of nothing but rules, why are we completely lawless with the dress code?
I agree. I agree 100%.
I totally agree on that. 100%.
Maybe just no midriff, no butt crack.
I think it's like Senator whoever in the 70s as it pertained to pornography. I'll know it when I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you can't do. You know what I mean?
That might have been Justice Alito's.
Was it Justice Alito?
It might have been Justice Alito. Yeah.
Here's a rule. If you wouldn't wear it to meet the parents of your new girlfriend or boyfriend, then don't wear it here.
Yeah.
Like you might wear.
If you wouldn't wear it reading to kindergarten. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was
that
wrong.
doesn't work anymore.
All right. What else we got?
All right. This one's kind of creepy and weird. Amanda Bynes has now addressed rumors that Nickelodeon producer Dan Schneider got her pregnant at 13.
Well, okay, I got something on that.
Something happened, right?
I mean, poor girl. A lot of stuff happened. I'm today years old when I realized that she and I are the same age. She's only 39. Of course, she has been through a lot. And in the first clip that now is from TikTok and a recent Instagram story she posted with her boyfriend, she said that this is all about getting clickbait, lies for clickbait. Here we go.
Hi, welcome to my jacuzzi. Today my special guest is the executive producer of The Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Hi. Nothing's creepier than a guy in a jacuzzi
wearing
with two
Roy
shirts on.
Orbison sunglasses.
You actually wrote the words we're saying to each other right now.
Yes. So this is him in a shirt and undershirt and sunglasses sharing a jacuzzi with a 13-year-old.
So she's saying that people took a video of her posting with her boyfriend at an airport, and then this clip of her with Dan Schneider fully dressed in a hot tub, and saying that somebody took the two unrelated clips and manufactured them. And
She's saying it's not real.
It's not real.
I will say this, that Dan Schneider dresses nicer for a hot tub than a lot of black chicks do at Burbank Airport.
Yeah. So the rule should be dress like a pedophile hitting on 13-year-olds.
In a hot tub.
In a hot tub.
In
Well,
a
you know, the Britney Spears, Jamie Lynn Spears, that's supposedly the rumor that the dad is Schneider.
Oh, God.
I mean, dude, it's super. I mean,
It's
he's
really
a foot
dark.
fetish, and that's the logo. Oh, come on.
Well, then you have the Drake Bell stuff. The documentary. Did you guys watch that documentary? It was really disturbing. It was called Quiet on Set. And apparently he parted ways, of course, with Nickelodeon in March of 2018. And he has sued the producers of Quiet on Set for defamation. But, I mean, come on, dude.
Good luck with that. Dude, they made up fake shows to have auditions for pilots that were never going to happen.
Yeah, or the stuff that even the writers were talking about.
I've been on a few of those auditions in my career.
Yeah.
Nothing ever came out the other end, and I nailed
blew my
that
career
shit.
at MTV when I was meeting with a guy at Pitch Shows. He goes, "So you're gay, right?" I go, "Nope." I'm like, "Well, there goes that opportunity. I should have sold my ass. I could have been Rob Daredick or whatever his name is."
Bynes hasn't acted now in 15 years. Of course, a couple years after that, she was charged with a DUI before getting in a series of other debacles with the law. She had a conservatorship, much like Britney, but I guess that ended in 2023. In recent months, she's updated her fans on her Ozempic weight loss journey, and she also revealed in April of this year that she's starting an OnlyFans account to help pay the bills.
Of course. It's just checking off all the boxes. Ozempic,
Can we
OnlyFans.
just maybe ban child actors?
Can we
That might be a
also
little extreme.
apologize to Britney Spears' dad? Be like, okay, maybe you should have
Maybe
been.
had a point there.
Yeah, maybe
Executorship. Yeah. Everyone's going on a weight loss journey. You should just be called
all the body positive people.
Yeah, but it's a journey. Everyone had to, and then we have to accompany you on your not so fat journey anymore.
I love that this is a journey. I'm on a journey.
Yeah,
See
I
me
got
in 2 weeks.
Ozempic. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I lost 8 pounds. That's your journey. There's too many journeys to accompany everyone on their journey.
You can
know what I
always
mean?
tell in the face too.
Yeah.
Like I'm the Bible Belt girl that's really excited that CeCe Winans is going to be singing at the halftime show, like Thanksgiving show for the Lions. Of course, she's a Detroit gal, but she's a gospel singer, in case you didn't know. And my husband and I were like, "Oh my God, she's on Ozempic!" Like literally everybody is on Ozempic. One of the Williams sisters, Meghan Trainor, Amanda Bynes, CeCe Winans, everybody. Nobody loses weight the old-fashioned way
Because that
anymore.
takes effort and hard
Oh
work.
my God, it takes me like a year and a half after every kid to lose 50 pounds.
In this add water and percolate kind of culture we live in,
Yeah.
which is like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Why would you want to put in the time?
Did Amanda Bynes? So, what happened with her? Was she molested by this guy, or not? Did we figure it out?
I don't know.
On DraftKings, am I putting bets down?
My money would be on, at the very least, she was sexually harassed.
Yeah, at some point.
I don't know if she was physically assaulted.
Listen, this is my whole thing, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got into comedy to get chicks. I mean, I wanted to be funny. It's the only thing I.
But
can
not
do.
minors.
No, not. But this is my point. I don't trust any dude who does kids entertainment. Like I have a kids comic book I'm doing called The Chaos Twins, but because I have daughters, I wanted to put out something that has them in it. But if you're like a dude who doesn't have kids and you're like, I'm going to do children's entertainment, I'm like, that's creepy to me.
Well, you shouldn't. It just means you're not talented to me. Maybe you're creepy, but it also means you can't do
so
things
they
for
can't
adults.
cut it in adult entertainment, so they go to entertain kids?
Let me lay this out for you guys. When you have like an uncle who's 51, but he's impaired mentally, people go, they'll go, Neil is probably operating like a 9-year-old like mentality, like he's a 9-year-old, maybe an 8 or 9-year-old mentality. Okay, so that means all 8 and 9-year-olds are retarded.
Yeah.
Well, they're like retarded adults.
They do. Their prefrontal cortex
They're
isn't fully
retarded
formed.
adults.
Like-
All right. So I do comedy for retarded adults.
They like
well, when
fart
you
jokes.
say you do books for kids, I just hear I do entertainment for retarded adults.
Yes.
And that's what it is. So if you make movies, you write books. By the way, we have to worship at the altar of Dr. Seuss. A cat in a hat. It was green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. I'll have no eggs on a train. I'll have them on a plane. I'll have them in a box. I'll have them with a fox. Yeah, I could shit that out fucking drunk at 4 a.m. on my worst day. So don't give me this hero shit.
He was also a socialist. So.
Not creative and fuck right off.
Yeah, I mean, kid book authors are the worst rappers of all time. Have you ever read their lyrics?
Yes.
They are the worst rappers.
And by the way, each page has 9 words on it.
Yeah.
Sally hopped
It's really
on
more
top.
on the illustrator.
Yes, the illustrator. If you say, I wrote and illustrated my book, I'll go, fine. If you go, I wrote a children's book and I had some other guy, I'll go, you don't know fucking shit then.
Go read books from kids' books from like the 80s. It is 2 different levels of teaching.
Oh, so different. Even they had to like dumb down the American Girl doll books, like what my generation grew up with, to today because of kids' inability to read. I mean, and of course you have like UCSD that is now teaching elementary school level math courses because kids, freshmen in college, are showing up and don't know. Like there was a graph and it was like 2 + 3 equals, and then it was 0 + whatever number. They couldn't figure out the problem.
We took away hitting kids, and now they do whatever they want.
That's right.
I can't spank my kids; they're too cute.
Oh man, I used to hop in that hot tub and beat the shit out of those kids.
It's like working with domestic terrorists. That's who your kids are, domestic terrorists, and they're burned. They're having BLM riots in the kitchen, and they just run the show. I mean, my mom gives me advice. I'm like, Mom, even though you didn't, you could have hit us. You could have beat the shit out of us, and everyone's like, that's a good parent.
Yep.
Can't do that anymore, and these kids know it.
She would take away your TV time.
My daughter she's 5. She's like, you son of a bitch. And I laughed so hard. It was the cutest thing ever, but I'm like, I have to do something here, or else she's going to say that to her teacher who has a nose ring.
Yeah.
All right, let me give some plugs. My new Home Depot run is on YouTube.
Nice.
Or my vlog, so if people want to see me cruise
You're helping
through a
teach
home.
kids people's skills.
I am. These are real world building skills I'm learning, and I'm walking through Home Depot. World War Debate is Sam's new show. Where do we find that, Sam?
You can go to samtripoli.com events or the World War Debate. It's basically because debates are all on these different podcasts. No, you don't know the one place, so we're creating the UFC, the NFL of debates.
Nice.
So it's
Smart.
like one place, and it's going to be January 10th at Caesar's Palace in Atlantic City, and it's going to be the gold standard debates every month, every other month. Everyone, the biggest names on the internet, any of their beefs are going to come and they're going to debate, and it's going to be just like an NFL game with all the statistics and all that stuff. So we're centralizing into the gold standard of debates, and everyone, the people we're getting are huge, and we're about to announce the card, so we're very excited about it. Adam, we'd love to have you debate. If there's anyone you want to debate,
I would, man.
I'll
I'll
do.
do.
Adam and Sunny Hostin?
Let's go.
Sunny Hostin, maybe? Would be...
My emphasis would be on why passion fruit iced tea sucks.
Let's go,
and let's do away with the red left turn arrow. All right, Alicia Krause. You can find her weekly op-ed on the Washington Examiner. Until next time, it's Adam for Sam and Alicia Krause saying mahala.
Pick up your phone and leave us a voicemail at 888-634-1744. And be sure to get tickets to see Adam Carolla at adamcarolla.com.